Many people believe that charisma is an inborn trait. They think that effective speakers are naturally gifted. This myth often discourages those who wish to improve their speaking skills. However, the truth is far from it. Charismatic speaking is a skill that can be learned and honed. Understanding mental biases is key to mastering this art. Mental biases are shortcuts our brains use to process information. By leveraging these biases, anyone can become a more engaging speaker. This essay will explore several such biases and how they can be applied to improve speaking skills. The journey to effective speaking begins with awareness. Once you understand these biases, you can use them to your advantage. This makes your communication more persuasive and impactful. Let's dive into the world of mental biases and unlock the secrets to effective speaking. Availability bias is a mental shortcut that relies on immediate examples. Our brains tend to focus on information that is readily available. This can be used to make your speeches more memorable and impactful. For instance, consider the fear of shark attacks. Despite their rarity, vivid stories of shark attacks make them seem common. As a speaker, you can use this bias to your advantage. Tell compelling stories that stick in your audience's mind. Stories are more memorable than statistics. They evoke emotions and make your message more relatable. When people recall your speech, they will remember the stories you told. Imagine you are giving a speech about road safety. Instead of citing statistics, share a story about a person affected by a car accident. This makes your message more tangible and impactful. Your audience is likely to remember the story and the lesson it imparts. The contrast effect is another powerful tool. It involves comparing two items to highlight their differences. This can make your message stand out more clearly. A famous example is Ronald Reagan's 1980 presidential debate. He used the contrast effect masterfully. Reagan asked a simple question: "Are you better off than you were 4 years ago?" This comparison made people think about their current situation versus the past. It highlighted the perceived failures of the incumbent administration. The contrast was stark and effective. You can use this technique in your speeches. Compare your main points with opposing ideas. This makes your argument stronger and more persuasive. For example, if you are advocating for a new policy, compare it with the current one. Highlight the benefits of your proposal in contrast to the drawbacks of the existing policy. Zero risk. Bias is the preference for certainty over uncertainty. People tend to favor options that eliminate risk. As a speaker, you can use this bias to frame your ideas more effectively. Present your solutions as risk-free or as significantly reducing risk. For instance, if you are proposing a new business strategy, highlight how it minimizes risks. Emphasize the safety nets and contingency plans in place. This makes your audience more comfortable and likely to support your proposal. The perception of reduced risk can be very persuasive. Consider a public health campaign promoting vaccination. Instead of focusing on the small risks of side effects, emphasize the elimination of disease risks. This framing makes the benefits of vaccination more appealing. People are more likely to respond positively to a message that promises safety and certainty. Section 5. Halo effect. First impressions matter. The halo effect is a cognitive bias where our overall impression of a person influences our judgment of their specific traits. First impressions play a significant role in this. As a speaker, making a strong first impression is crucial. It sets the tone for how your audience perceives you and your message. Dress appropriately, speak with confidence, and start with a compelling opening. These elements contribute to a positive first impression. If your audience likes you initially, they are more likely to view your message favorably. This bias works in your favor throughout your speech. For example, if you begin your speech with a captivating story or a powerful quote, you grab your audience's attention immediately. This positive start creates a halo effect, making your subsequent points more persuasive. The initial impression carries through and enhances the overall impact of your speech. Section 6. Replacement bias, finding common ground. Replacement bias involves replacing a complex problem with a simpler one. This can be useful in speaking when addressing complex issues. Simplify your message by finding common ground with your audience. This makes your speech more relatable and easier to understand. Use analogies and metaphors to explain complex ideas. This helps your audience grasp the concept quickly. For instance, if you are discussing economic policies, use everyday examples. Compare the economy to a household budget to make your point clearer. By simplifying your message, you make it more accessible. This also shows that you understand your audience's perspective. Finding common ground builds rapport and trust. Your audience is more likely to engage with and accept your message. Section 7. Learnability of effective speaking. Effective speaking is not an innate talent. It is a skill that can be learned and developed. Understanding mental biases is the first step. By practicing these techniques, you can become a more charismatic and persuasive speaker. Start by incorporating stories into your speeches. Use the availability bias to make your message memorable. Practice comparing ideas using the contrast effect. Frame your proposals to minimize perceived risks, leveraging the zero-risk bias. Make strong first impressions to benefit from the halo effect. Simplify complex ideas with replacement bias to connect with your audience. These strategies are practical and learnable. Anyone can master them with practice and dedication. The key is to be aware of these biases and use them consciously. Over time, you will notice a significant improvement in your speaking skills. Section 8. Practicing the techniques. To master these techniques, practice is essential. Start by preparing your speeches with these biases in mind. Write your stories, comparisons, and analogies. Practice delivering them with confidence. Record yourself and watch the playback to identify areas for improvement. Join a public speaking group or take a course. These provide opportunities to practice and receive feedback. Engage in conversations where you can apply these techniques. The more you practice, the more natural they will become. Ask for feedback from your audience. This helps you understand what works and what doesn't. Use this feedback to refine your approach. Over time, you will develop a style that is both engaging and effective. Section 9. Reader interaction and feedback. Interaction with your audience is crucial. Encourage your readers or listeners to share their thoughts. Ask for their feedback on your speaking style and content. This engagement helps you understand their perspectives and improve your skills. Create opportunities for interaction during your speeches. Ask questions and invite participation. This makes your audience feel involved and valued. It also provides real-time feedback that you can use to adjust your approach. Online platforms are great for this. Use social media to connect with your audience. Share your speeches and invite comments. Respond to feedback and engage in discussions. This interaction helps you build a loyal following and continuously improve your speaking skills. Section 10. Encouragement to engage and share. Encourage your audience to engage with your content. Invite them to like, share, and subscribe. Explain the benefits of subscribing, such as receiving more insights and updates. This helps you reach a wider audience and build a community of engaged listeners. Use calls to action in your speeches and online posts. Ask your audience to share their experiences and thoughts. This creates a sense of community and encourages others to participate. The more your content is shared, the more people you can reach and influence. Highlight the value of their engagement. Explain how their feedback helps you improve and provide better content. This makes your audience feel appreciated and more likely to engage. Building a community of engaged listeners enhances your impact as a speaker. Section 11. Conclusion. Unlock your speaking potential. Effective speaking is within everyone's reach. By understanding and leveraging mental biases, you can become a more charismatic and persuasive speaker. The techniques discussed in this essay are practical and learnable. With practice and dedication, you can master them. Start by applying these biases in your speeches. Tell compelling stories, use comparisons, frame your ideas effectively, make strong first impressions, and simplify complex concepts. Practice these techniques regularly and seek feedback to improve. Engage with your audience and build a community of supporters. Encourage them to share their thoughts and experiences. This interaction helps you refine your skills and reach a wider audience. Unlock your speaking potential and become the effective speaker you aspire to be.